Hi everyone, I am delighted once more to be in the creative space of one Mr. Dave Wheeler. Dave, thank you for joining.
Hey, happy to be here, man. Sorry about this. We're
I
shuffling
love
the
it.
basement around right now, so my studio is currently a storage room.
I
So
love it. It totally works. Does this inspire your creativity or does it sort of, uh,
decimates it.
yeah,
I've been going old school, working up at the kitchen table quite a lot lately. So
yeah,
just lots of stuff just kind of piled in here from various eras of my life, my children's lives, my wife's life. It's good times.
I get you. I get you. I know people that the space doesn't matter as much. They can sort of still create and do things. For me, I have to have everything sort of in a row. Although, I mean, there is of course, the occasional pop culture
Oh
item.
yes,
That one's courtesy of my friend Adam.
very
Um,
cool.
yeah, yeah, but glad to have you back. And for folks out there that need to be familiar, Mindwave Comics is the group, and The Misadventures of Wonder Boy is one of those books,
Yes,
as
sir.
well as The Bolt Strikes.
Yep, and Totem and Cinder and Mechanigal and Madam Monster and so many others.
Yeah,
It's fun because for the first time in a long time, it looks like Mindwave Comics is going to be picking back up again because Samir and I both have breaks in our otherwise very busy freelance schedules. So we're finally going to get back on it and try and wrap up Thunder and Lightning, the crossover between two of the characters. So that'll be fun.
cool, cool, very cool. Good to have that collaboration and good to be back into the full swing of it, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Now you are also a toy artist as well, a
I,
toy designer.
yeah, I've worked a lot with Boss Fight Studios and a bunch of smaller independent companies for like Kickstarter designs and stuff like that. I just wrapped up some fun stuff, so it's kind of nice. Now I'm working on some sculptures. I'm working on a couple different custom figures for folks, and still doing the YouTube stuff. I actually got a stream here in 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I'll do that up tonight. It's gripping and ripping, so it's an unboxing stream, but I'm just going to be
Nice.
talking from a world of boxes. So
Perfect
it's a
place
good
to
time.
unbox.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm seeing some like 90s Spider-Man logo there.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
that is the box from my Try Spider Slayer from when I want to say it's from when I was a little kid. I did not have it as a little kid. I bought it probably about 15 years ago.
yeah,
But I kept the box because I love the box art. That's my old wrestling ring over there, and boxes for figures and boxes for everything else that is in this house. So it's a good
nice.
time.
Nice, nice. Well, we were talking comics, talking empathy and what comics can do. And I just have to tell you, like growing up, I would see a film, read a comic, whatever it may be. I would first go make a comic, of course. I would
Mhm.
draw on notebook paper. But then what we're talking about with action figures, I've had a good bit of time to reflect on it. I was telling stories with those things,
Oh yeah.
like and traveling across universes in ways that now like a studio would have to buy another studio for that to even
Yeah.
exist. Yeah.
Oh man, everybody played with everybody in my imagination. So
Oh
it
yeah.
was the crossover of the millennia for the last one though, because that was in the 90s.
That's right.
But, it's one of those things of like I've talked with a bunch of my friends about it because so there's some people who kind of everybody stays in their own lane. I'm like, nah, everybody in the pool for me. Like it was
Yeah.
everybody playing, everybody was a part of it. It was always fun. So.
Now, when you're creating your own stories, your own creations, are there some of those threads, some of those pieces that come back from
Oh,
what you
definitely.
were? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the funny thing is there was stuff I was talking to a friend about what toys represented other characters
Hmm.
that weren't that actual character. Like for some odd reason, I had a Secret Wars Magneto that was my brother's. It was pretty beat up. For some odd
Hmm.
reason, that was our Gambit.
Hmm.
Why did
Hmm.
we pick that as Gambit? I don't know, but we used it as Gambit. We had a Crystar that we got from a garage sale that was Iceman and the Silver Surfer, depending on what we were playing.
Yeah.
You know, anything could be everything and anything all at once, which was great. Um, now it's that weird thing of like trying to think through that process of going like, wait, could I translate that into something?
Hmm.
Um, I like that's part of what I make. I make custom figures. So like I'm working on a Spider Boy from Amalgam. Uh,
Nice, nice.
I already I need to make his shield still, but I made Super Soldier the other day.
Awesome. Very
Um,
cool.
so I was working on those, and because you showed a Blue Beetle, I'll show the one Blue Beetle that I have nearby. But it is a base for a custom, and if you can guess who it is, the power is yours. Uh, so
Wow.
that'll be a project for another upcoming stream. I always have a stack of projects to work on, so that's always fun.
That's cool. I'm getting the X-Men series vibe. Was that original? Was the base from an X-Men series?
Oh no, this was a Blue Beetle from
Uh-huh.
McFarlane and a Smythe from Spider-Man.
Ah, nice, nice.
This will eventually be a Captain Planet figure. So
Nice.
'cause I thought
Very
it'd be
cool.
pretty cool. It's one of those weird things of you look at it now and you go, huh? And it's like, just be
I can
patient.
see it. I can see it though. I
Yeah,
can see it.
it's more fun.
So so when you're creating a custom figure, you're taking pieces and sort of like Frankensteining your own and then
Yeah,
using paint, I assume, and different
yeah.
sort of sculpting tools.
I'll make my own stuff too. Like if I can kit bash stuff together, which is the kind of Frankensteining process, I gladly will. But then there's also times where it's like, okay, like I'll find a head that someone sculpted, or I'll sculpt one and then get one of my friends to 3D print it or cast it, and then I can use it, which is dope.
Nice.
Like I have this figure that I have had, I made 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Um, uh, for a while, every Halloween, I don't know why, but I watched Blackula,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I made a Blackula figure.
Very cool. Very
Why?
cool.
Why not? Uh,
Indeed.
but yeah, it's always been something that I've loved doing. Granted, the majority of my stuff is crammed in boxes or pushed aside or stacked up somewhere right now. But I have a Madman custom that I made when I was like 8 years old, but I painted with house paint.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And just because I wanted to try, and I have a modern custom that I made, and I keep the two of them next to each other to kind of show like you do get better. There is growth. You might not notice it,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I don't know.
I remember like the Heroes Illustrated where and I think they would do this in Wizard too, where they would have pages and people would sort of send their customs in and it was like,
Homemade
oh,
Heroes in Wizard magazine was the one
that's
in
right.
that I remember.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I still remember there's a terrible joke, but someone customized a Superpowers Green Lantern Corps, making all the major players of that time and made a Kilowog in the back. And it's Hal, Kyle, and John, I think, up front. And it says, "Ah, who farted? Whoever smelled it dealt it. Whoever made the rhyme did the crime." And then in the back it says, "Kilowog, go poofy." And
Yes, yes.
it's like, why does that stick with me? I don't know. It's a
It
weird
always
core memory
does.
that just lingers in the back of my head. Meanwhile, it's
Absolutely.
like name the capital of Mexico. It's like Mexico City.
Right,
Uh,
right.
but yeah,
That's so the world of toy design,
yeah.
does that inform what you do in comics, or is that sort of like, are there branches of the hive
It's
that are
it's almost
separate?
that weird thing of my work in comics is what gave me the opportunity to work on toys. So
Hmm.
that was the
Hmm.
the thing of like my background in doing character design and stuff. Well, okay, what's a character design? Okay, you do a turnaround and then you do facial expressions and then you have to kind of make their build different shapes and such. So um that led to my first gig with Boss Fight Studios. I designed the Orokoki Dorado figure for the Labor en Kenya line. Um, and yeah, like I was just it was awesome. It was an awesome opportunity. An indie comic that I got to do in a independent toy company figure for. So that was pretty dope. So I mean,
Nice.
it's kind of that weird thing of my background in drawing stuff for comics and design and such informed the okay, I'm basically doing that, but now I have to add articulation. I have to add in their articulation scheme. I have to think through deco hits. I have to think through, where is this figure going to break up in order to be able to move, and how can I minimize the amount of sculpting that is going to be in that area,
Hmm. Hmm.
type situation. So it was pretty fun. It's by far one of my favorite random things that I've done in my life.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, I was going to ask, it's a pretty expensive process, right? Like
oh
doing
yeah, I'm
a
glad
mold and
I just do the design work because I have looked into making so I don't know if you're familiar with the term Keshi, but like the little like so that would be like monsters in my pocket or muscle men,
oh,
uh,
okay.
you know, like
Very
stuff like
different
that.
from
Just
Kesha. That's a
yeah.
different. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Kesha with a dollar sign is a fantastic musical artist. But
Yes.
Keshi is yeah, it's just kind of those little vinyl figures or rubber figures depending on what they're cast out of. I 3D sculpted all my main characters and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be awesome. Like,
Hmm.
and I looked at it and when I initially conceptualized it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what this will cost for basically injection molding. And by the time you pay for tooling, which is the mold,
Hmm.
the injection molding and packaging, for even a small run, it's like for what I was looking at, which was 6 characters, I want to say. I think it
Hmm.
was something like 12 to 14 thousand dollars. And I'm like, ah, dang it. So,
That's why they reused all those Batman molds.
oh yeah, 20, 20 million, yeah, redecos as they're called in the industry. But I'm not gonna lie, I fell for him every time.
Same.
I was like, that one's fluorescent orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it, but I mean, that's always the name of the game. I've been lucky enough to get to know some folks over at Hasbro over the years and I've had them on the channel and stuff. And talking with them, they're so passionate about creating stuff, but it's wild because they're playing chess with their budget all the time. For Marvel Legends, it's like, okay, if we do this one specialty figure, what can we use from this to make like at least two or three other figures to even out that you
Mhm.
know that budgetary hit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's fascinating to me. Like I love the process of toy making. Like it's one of those things that just kind of for me it's fascinating to see how something can go from, hey, we should make a figure of this, and then all of a sudden, a year later you have a
Hmm.
figure in your hand and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The engineering alone is a monstrous feat, which is I'm always in awe of the folks that actually implement the articulation
Yeah.
within the sculpts.
Curious about either now it might be a character or it might be like a kind of story, okay? But the like Mount Rushmore of creating both on the toy side as well as the comic side, what would be like the
Oh man.
pinnacle experience?
For me, it's always been like one of my lifelong goals. I want to make an action figure of something from my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've kind of done that. Unfortunately, it's all packed in a box right now. I did a head sculpt with my buddy Alex Brewer, aka Fanplastic 4 on Instagram. He actually is a sculptor for Mondo currently. He's worked for Super 7. He's done absolutely amazing work. But he and I collaborated, and there is a Dave Wonder head sculpt, my YouTube persona, and I hand painted a bunch of them, and I've been selling them in different iterations and stuff like that as a ways to basically help fund getting new equipment like cameras and stuff like that, software and such too. And that was really fun. However, I really want to make like a Wonder Boy figure or a Bolt
Mm,
figure or a Totem figure or a Cinder figure or a Mechanigal figure or Meta Monster figure. I think that'd be really, really fun to do, even if like that's why I was saying originally I just wanted to make the little Keshis because they're little what are called slug molds. They're one piece of plastic. They're not articulated. It's
yeah,
literally
yeah.
here. This is it. Um, and like yeah, even that's so expensive. So it's always an interesting thing. But like I have a mascot on my YouTube channel called Beanie because it's a skull with a hot pink beanie on,
Hmm.
which is usually what I'm wearing when I'm on streams and stuff like that. I mean, the pink kind of carries over, but um, it's one of those things that right now I'm working on a sculpt of Beanie so that I can make a head of Beanie that I can print off, paint, and sell. And then I'm going to leave it as kind of a universal head joint. So you can put it on a Marvel Legend, you can put it on a wrestling figure, you can put it on a boss fight figure, you can put it, you can put it on this wide array of figures, but it can be whatever you want, and,
Nice.
and so Beanie can be whatever, whoever, however, you want him to be a character. So, or it to be a character, I guess. It's a skull. It doesn't have a gender, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That stuff to me is fascinating. I mean, that to me is indie comic making, like I've always loved doing I'm trying to remember, one of my friends said making mini comics is so punk rock. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's DIY, like you're doing your own thing. Like I used to hijack the Xerox in the Res Life office all the time, and before that, it was the Hennepin County Library.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mrs. Danvers. But it was that thing of, like just running off mini comics and then, bringing them back and folding them over and stapling them, then folding them over rather with the bone folder and stuff. And that was always so much fun. And I still do that. I still have mini comics and activity books and stuff that I do the same way that I did them 15 years ago.
Love that.
Because I can send my files off to a printer and get it made, but it's like, or I could just go down to Kinko's, or sorry, FedEx office now. No, Kinko's is completely gone. But go down there, make a run, and then come back and pop on some music down here. Well, not right now, but go to town making comics, which is super fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
that I think that crosses over to the comic side too. So it is
oh
indeed the creation,
yeah,
the OG, the original graphic novel, the OGN. OG and
yeah.
OGN are two different things.
It,
But that original creation that inspires you the most. I love that.
yeah, I mean, it lights a fire under my butt. I mean, for me, it's the thing of I've gotten to work on some pretty cool licenses over the years, and it's always fun, but it's kind of the same way of how I ended up back in Minnesota after living all over the country. Is every time I'm working on something, I'm kind of like, oh man, that'd be really fun to work on, like, but with Wonder Boy, or
Mhm.
oh, that'd be fun to work on with Bolt or Totem, like. And then it's always I kind of come back around. Like I lived out in LA, I lived out in Savannah, Georgia. Like my brain always just went, ah, well, it doesn't have the seasons. It's not like Minnesota. Oh, this would be great, but it's not like Minnesota. And so I
Yeah.
ended up back here. So ended up back home. So yeah.
So the autobiographical comic title is It's Not Like Minnesota.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
Whoops, all lakes. Uh, but it's one of those funny, I don't know, things. Like I always think of my mom would talk about her and her best friend, and one of them always really wanted to get out. Like her best friend wanted to get out of the small town they grew up in, travel the
Mhm.
world, and see everything. My mom does not like traveling. Like, it's just kind of like, I'm gonna go get my degree, probably stick around Minnesota somewhere, but she didn't really have any aspirations to like go out and about. And her friend ran the post, or was running for the post office for 30 plus years
Mhm.
in the small town. And my mom went to school, got offered a job, went out to California,
Mhm. Mhm.
like right off the bat, like working for yeah. So it's just, yeah. She worked for the FBI back in the day. And that's always
Wow.
one of my favorite things of like, huh? Like, 'cause she wasn't working for the FBI when I was growing up, as far as I know.
You never know. You never know.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's always that kind of fun thing about thinking back on, yeah, what's motivation, for you, and it changes, but there's some constants for sure.
Yeah.
Um, sorry, I'm really good at rambling. Apparently, that's my bad.
No, no, you're good. You're good. You were fine. I was going to ask one more official question, and then we can
Sure.
hit anything that we might have missed in the brief talk through. But of course, I like to ask about the places where we can check out the YouTube show, as well
Oh yeah,
as any other spaces where you would direct people to go and
man.
find out more.
Yeah, just hit me up, davewonder.com. There's a link for everything on there. YouTube.com/Dave Wonder. I live stream 3 times a week. This week it'll be four because I have my first, or not first, second mini marathon of the year for Extra Life, which is an organization that raises money for children's cancer treatment and research.
Mhm.
So I've been doing like little, well, this is the first year, second year, first year of mini marathons. And I've done marathon streams for 3 years now, and I've raised just over $20,000 for children's cancer treatment and research. Just talking like this, having the
Nice.
conversation, and having people on and having fun. We already talked about it. I got to get to your butt on the stream, but
Love
that's all
to.
over
I
YouTube,
would love to.
youtube.com/Dave Wonder. Um, all one word, no spaces in there, because I didn't think about it when I did that.
That
But
works.
yeah, or just hit up davewonder.com on Instagram. I'm the Dave Wheeler on Twitter/X or whatever. I'm at Dave Wheeler. Blue Sky, I'm at Dave Wonder. Patreon.com/Dave Wonder. ProWrestlingTees.com/Dave Wonder if you want merch. And yeah, I think that's everything. Or if you go over to Extra Life, extra-life.org/participant/Dave Wonder, or go to extralife.org and search for Dave Wonder, you'll find my fundraising page. So, and if,
Awesome.
if you
Awesome.
see a caption on some of the donations of Nugget of Doom, that is one of the stupid things that I do on the marathon streams. Is when I do my 24-hour marathon stream, I call it my bad idea for a good cause. But I get chicken nuggets, and I have some of the hottest hot sauces in the world. And for $50, I eat a nugget with stupid spicy hot sauce on it. And I have to still continue trying to interview or have conversations and not die on air. Um, to date, I figured this out the other day. To date, I have made just over $4,000, I think, eating spicy chicken.
Wow. Wow.
A man
And
of many useless talents. Is
that is awesome. I'm sending all the Pepto vibes. That's amazing.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll gladly take it. But yeah, so yeah, or just hit up davewonder.com. All the links are there. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live. Um,
Awesome. Awesome.
but you know the YouTube rigmarole. Uh, but but
Well,
yeah,
I will of course call this the Vice Action Grip episode because we've done a good bit of talking about toys and toy making. Exactly, exactly. And if there are images of particular action figures that you'd like to send my way, I will splice them into the video so that
will
they
do,
can
man. I'll
have
send. Yeah,
some showtime.
I'll send everything over. Just remind me to.
Yeah, of course, of
I'll,
course.
I'll forget otherwise. It's been a time,
I
but
understand. I understand. Well, glad to have you back anytime. And yes, I would love to be on the live stream.
good,
Let me
good
know how I can help and support, and I'll be glad to do that.
for sure. Yeah, after we pop off here, we'll get it on the books. We'll get it on the
Yes,
books.
yes, yes. We'll let me get my. I should get a book.
There
Yes,
you go.
absolutely. All right, all right. Well, thank you so much, Dave. Always glad to
Yeah,
talk
no.
with you.
Also, like, comment, subscribe on all. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way on his stuff too, because
Oh,
he's
you
got.
were the right way. It was the right way.
Was it the right way? Am
Yeah.
I mirrored? I don't know if I'm mirrored anyway. But go watch all the interviews. There have
Uh,
been some absolutely amazing interviews. Legitimately, your channel is one of them that I pop on and just let play in the background when
thank
I'm
you.
working on stuff. It's fun. I enjoy the crap out of it. So keep doing what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you so much. I enjoy it as well. So, we will keep on here.
Hell
Awesome.